Good morning. We are privileged to hear this story of an underdog and a half, Elijah, against the 450 prophets of Baal. And Elijah had great confidence that the Lord would win, that the Lord would manifest his power and show his face. And so Elijah was sort of set up a remarkable contest where, like, you get your dry sacrifice, you've got 450 prophets, you're all slashing and carrying on. Baal was a prophet, was a god of lust. He was a god of darkness. And they were carrying on and nothing happens. And then Elijah, I often think about this passage. I think that as the church in the modern world, we sort of give God this functional opportunity to show how powerful he is by always making it harder on ourselves to win on any sort of human level. I mean, I could fill in the blanks of that thought, but I won't. So Elijah, he doesn't just set up his altar with just, him there, but he has those attendants bring the water up, and it would have taken, every time they brought the water up to soak the sacrifice, it took about a half an hour because it was a long journey. And it's, soaking more and more. And any of us who have ever tried to start a campfire or a fire in a chimney or a fireplace in a home with wet wood knows just how much that sets you up for failure. I've had many frustrating experiences where you just sort of, surrender. The wood is wet. There's not going to be a fire tonight. Fortunately, I wasn't dependent on the fire for food. But the point is, he's setting himself up for failure. And the Lord comes and he consumes the whole sacrifice. It says he even consumed the dust. The Lord even dusted the leftovers. And I think as we look at the world as followers of Jesus, it can be at times a feeling of being outnumbered, of being overwhelmed at the invincible odds of the voice of God in the midst of a culture that just isn't interested, is convinced of its own righteousness in different ways, and doesn't believe that there's more. But we want to have the confidence of Elijah, the hope of Elijah. Not to say Elijah doesn't have bad days. We pick up from this reading, we're going to hear Elijah, gets pretty depressed at points. He sort of wants to quit. So just because this happened doesn't mean every day was like him just dancing a jig, because he was this prophet of the winning God. No. But we are the followers. We are given in our baptism to be priest, prophet, and king of the prophet of the God who conquers, not simply a sacrifice on an altar, but death itself. So let's beg for the grace to follow our good God and beg for the Holy Spirit to help to facilitate that today.